Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. I have picked up some new fun goodies that I've been wanting to share with you, and so I just thought I would do a full get ready with you playing with these new items. So today we're going to be playing with the foundation. This is the Sisley. This is the Phyto Teint Nude. I'd been getting asked if I was going to be picking this up, so we are going to be using this today and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Then I did pick up the Tom Ford. This is the Soleil Neige eye quad, and we're going to be creating this eye look today. I'm going to kind of walk you through like a day look to a bit more of a glam eye look. And then I have a favorite lip combo that I want to share with you. And of course, I'm going to end with fragrance of the day. Many of you asked me if I was going to be picking up the new Le Labo. This is the Thé Matcha 26. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on this new fragrance. So if you are interested in seeing how I created this look, playing with these new fun goodies, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay. We're going to put makeup on this face, and I'm playing catch up a bit. I have had some new items that I've been wanting to share with you, so I'm going to add a few of them into this video, but one of them has been the Sisley. This is the Phyto Teint Nude, and I've had many of you ask me if I was going to try this. I did pick this up during their friends and family event and have been playing with it a bit. And I ended up picking this up in the shade 1C. This is PETAL, and they now have a much more expanded range of shades, which makes me so happy because I actually really like Sisley foundations, but they do not have a wide variety of shade range, and this one comes in 16 different shades. So I was able to go into Nordstrom and get matched with this foundation, and we both ended up with PETAL, which is 1C. So the good news is they definitely have some paler shades for all of my beautiful pale skinned beauties, as well as darker tones for my dark skinned beauties out there, and then of course in between. And they definitely explain on their website warm undertones, cool undertones, neutral undertones. So I feel like they did a good job on that. Now, this is described as an ultra hydrating foundation. It is not going to give you a lot of coverage. So I was warned ahead of time that this is not going to give me the kind of coverage that I may be seeking. This is going to be for your good skin days, or if you are someone who does not like foundation, but you definitely want to even out your skin tone a bit. It is going to give you a little bit of a blurring, and I'm thinking that this is a little bit similar to my favorite Chanel Water Fresh tint, upon which it creates sort of an angelic, magical finish on the skin, but again doesn't provide you with a ton of coverage. So we're going to play with this today, and you guys, this comes in a bit of a small container, definitely like a shaker, foundation, but it is a little bit teeny, and this is $95. So this is a pricey foundation, but it does promise to have some skin care benefits in it, and it is going to be for those of us who really like those hydrating foundations. So I'm going to pour a little bit out. Again, you guys, it's very light and fluidy, and this is the shade PETAL, and this is described as light with cool neutral rosy undertones. So not too pink, but definitely has a touch of that rosy undertone. And I found that this one does best applying with fingertips, and then I will go back in and apply just a tad more with a brush. But because this is such a light fluid texture, it's really best with the fingertips, I find. Phyto Teint Nude is a second skin oil-free skincare foundation. This is going to give you an ultra-natural, radiant, and even-looking complexion with very sheer coverage. Immediately, the complexion is enhanced with a subtle satin finish. The skin texture looks smooth, skin feels hydrated and looks plumper. Small imperfections are blurred. Day after day, the skin looks more beautiful and energized, glowing with radiance from within. Okay, so you guys can see this does not provide much coverage at all. It does give your skin a nice little boost of hydration. I definitely am feeling that. This is such a thin texture that it just glides on like silk on your skin. But as you can see, this is such sheer coverage that I think for many, paying $95 for this may not be what they're looking for. So this is definitely for those of you that want sheer coverage. You don't want to look like you're wearing any makeup at all. I think this is going to be fantastic for those of you that have like really good skin, but you want a little extra layer of protection. I feel like this would be good. I think that this would be a good choice as well. And again, this is Sisley, so there is skincare benefits within this foundation. I personally prefer a bit more coverage. This is just so sheer. So I kind of use this as like my weekend kind of makeup where I just want to smooth out my skin, but then I will go in with concealer and use that in areas where I need it. So I'm going to give you one more close-up before I put concealer on, because that will change the look just a bit. But as you could see, this just looks like skin. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer now. Underneath my eyes, I am going to put a little bit on my cheeks where I feel like I need it, but for the most part, I'm going to try to keep the skin a bit more bare today. Just a little bit. I'm using the Chanel. This is the Le Corrector, and this is a gel-based concealer that has medium coverage. So I am going to put a little bit more on my cheeks where I tend to be red, and I like to just even out. And just a teeny bit on the nose, a little bit on the forehead, and just a tad on my chin just to kind of highlight the midline of my face. Okay, put on a bit of concealer, not too much because I want you to be able to see. This is a skin-like foundation. And then we're going to move on and play with the eyes. So I'm going to let this set into the skin. This is one of those foundations that I found wore a little bit better as the day went on, almost as if the pigments kind of laid down a little bit as it settled on the skin and provided me with just a teeny bit more coverage than just this sheer application when I first put it on. Okay, next we are going to be playing with the Tom Ford. This is the Soleil Neige quad. This is a limited edition quad for the holidays, and I have to say I'm in love with this one so much. I've been wearing it on camera pretty much the last few videos, and I got questions about it, and I love this. This is like an everyday Abby kind of quad. I think this color over here is just gorgeous. It gives your eyes just a little bit of reflection, but it is just this gorgeous everyday eye look that you can glam up just a bit or just keep it simple. And I just love the kind of toasty, kind of almond and coconut colors in here, along with this beautiful peachy rose color. It is just so pretty on the eyes. And we are going to start over here sort of with this marshmallow or almond color, and I'm going to lay this color all over the lid. Okay guys, here's this base color all over. And I just personally love this color with just a bit of eyeliner. So I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes so you can kind of see a basic eye look. And I had a subscriber tell me that I needed to try the NARS. This is their high pigment long wear eyeliner, and this one's in Mulholland Drive. So this is going to be a bit similar to my favorite from Chanel, which is the Brun Agape. Down here is my favorite, that is Brun Agape. And then up on top, I've got the NARS in Mulholland Drive, and she's right, very similar in tones. And these are a bit cheaper eyeliners and just as long wearing. And I have used these in the past and I have liked them. I think when I just get onto something that I love, I just keep buying the same ones over and over. But it's always good to share some duplicates, and this is a bit cheaper than the Chanel. So what I'm going to do is I am going to tightline the upper and lower lash line just to show you a little definition near that lash line. Okay, I gave myself a little definition on the eyes, and then of course would just put mascara on. But that's that one and done shade with just that beautiful toasty almond shade. But then to add a little bit of lightness and reflection on the eyes, I'm going to go in with this one. And this is just gorgeous. It is a satin with a bit of shimmer, not too much. It's just gorgeous. And I'll just use what's on my finger first and just put that on the lid. But as you're going to see, it's got a little bit of reflection, so pretty on the eye. I'm actually going to use the little flat applicator here just to show you as I press this on to the lid. And I just love this shade here. It's almost like bronzy gold, not too gold, but it adds a nice little reflection on your eye. Super pretty. And then we're going to go over to this gorgeous color, which I've played around. I have put this all over my lid that I love because it actually makes my eye color pop a little bit. Brings out the green. This is a little bit, I wouldn't say rust, but it's got that peachy amber color and it's just really pretty. So I'm going to put that on the outer V, bring a little bit up into my crease just slightly, and we'll see if we want to add any more. So I'm actually going in with my Wayne Goss number 18 and just rolling a little bit of this color on my brush, and then we'll put a little bit of that color on the outer V. So pretty. And I'll be blending this out. I'm also going to use the little applicator that they put in here, just the little pointy one. And I'm going to add a little bit of this amber color underneath. And here's what this looks like so far. Just really soft and pretty. And then I'm going to come into the topper shade, which is gorgeous. I love Tom Ford toppers. And I'm just going to put a little bit right above that iris and then bring it towards that inner. Sorry guys, my big fingers make it hard to show you, but I'm just tapping a little bit of that closer to that inner eye, bringing it to the iris, using whatever's left over, and I'm just going to put a teeny bit right up in that brow bone, just a little bit. I don't want to put too much shimmer right there. And this is what it looks like so far. Now what I'm going to do is go put on mascara so you can see my eye just like this, and then we can decide if we want to put a bit more eyeliner on and smoke it out. But I kind of love the idea of this being a bit of a softer, more ethereal eye look, and once I put on mascara, kind of all comes together. I have mascara on, cleaned up my brows, and what I'm going to do is put on a little bit of bronzer. I also am going to use a little bit of my bronzer in my crease just to tie everything together. And we'll just go ahead and warm up the skin. So I'm using my favorite. This is my Chantecaille Real Bronze. This one is in Goa. It is a little bit more of a cocoa red toned bronzer. And I just thought we would warm up the skin a bit. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of this bronzer just right into that crease, just to tie the face together. And then I'm going to use this color right here as blush. I saw this really cute YouTuber, Sherry Voyage, use this as blush, and I thought that was brilliant. So we're going to try that ourselves, see how that color looks on the skin. I love that color blush. I'm going to go ahead and set my face. Lately, I have been pulling for my DIOR Forever. This is the powder, and I've just been loving this one. I've liked it for a while, but I just find that this is going to give my skin a nice little glowy finish. And I'm just going to wipe underneath my eyes and set the makeup, and also kind of blending through, making sure there is not any harsh edges between my blush and my bronzer. Then for lips, I'm going to show you one of my favorite little lip combos lately. I'm going to start with a Charlotte Tilbury. This is a lip cheat. This is a lip cheat in Iconic Nude. So I'm just going to line my lips real quick. Then I pulled out my favorite color in Neutral Party, and this is just such a perfect warmer nude tone. It's definitely got pigmentation, so it's not too light of a nude. It is just right, and Neutral Party just has that bit of warmth that just screams fall to me. I feel like it goes with this entire look. And then if you want to glam it up a bit, I have just been obsessed with my honeyed coral. This is the Luxe Gloss, and the name of this honeyed coral does not quite make sense because when I swatch it, you will see it has a little bit more of a berry undertone, but also if you can see, it just adds a nice reflection and makes any of your lipsticks look great. So whatever the color is, I just love it, and I love it on its own. I love it with a nude. I love it with a berry toned lip liner. I love it with a nude lip liner. It really does just go with a little of everything. So this is the final look using that Soleil Neige eye quad. I literally have been wearing that non-stop since I picked it up, and I've been dying to do a video on this. I find it to be a really nice neutral eye palette that I can glam up a little bit, make it feel a little bit festive for the holidays, and for myself, I could wear it every single day with or without the topper. I can either play up my eyeliner or leave it kind of simple. It really is so versatile, and I just love it. Now, I thought I would go ahead and finish with fragrance of the day because that's what we do here. And I did pick up the new Thé Matcha 26. This is from Labo. I'd been getting some questions from you guys if I was going to give this a try. And I actually really love this one. So first of all, if you love matcha tea, if you're someone who loves fig in fragrances, I think you might love this. There is a freshness about this fragrance, but there's also a warmth about it. So I think that's what I love about this. I gravitate towards more warm and comforting fragrances. And this one has the best of both worlds because it's got a very nice freshness, almost a clean element to it, but then as it warms up on the skin, that's exactly what it does. It becomes warm and creamy. It's got some very soft woods in here, vetiver and cedar, so I've got that lovely woody base. Matcha tea in here is not astringent, so I want you to think of this as your matcha latte with a lot of whatever your milk of choice. I'm going to say oat milk because I find oat milk to be sort of creamy, but it adds that nice creamy texture to it. This one has a hit of bitter orange, so there is a tiny bit of citrus in here. I think, again, lifting this up. I'm really loving the light touch of the fig and the matcha. If you've ever smelled Labo Thé Noir, that one is a black tea, figgy, very strong fragrance. Like, that's something that I have to be in the mood to wear. It can be a little bit overwhelming on my skin. I find that Labo fragrances run almost like a little dirty on me. I don't know if you guys have that experience with certain DNA and fragrances, but some of these can run just a little bit dirty, like there's an element in them that I don't necessarily think smells great with my chemistry. But I will say this one works perfectly with my chemistry. This is like the soft sister of Thé Noir. It's got tea in it, but matcha, not astringent. Definitely a matcha tea latte. It also has fig in here, but again, not super dominant, just adds some interest to the fragrance. I'm also loving this creaminess. There's almost like there is a milky accord in this fragrance, so it's got that fresh woodiness. This one smells amazing in the rain. I actually purchased it on a super rainy day at the Labo store here. I had the best experience with the salespeople. We had so much fun going through their fragrance line, but also talked about how this one was a little bit different than their typical Labo fragrances, and this one really is comforting. The dry down of this is addictive, and one thing that I wanted to note is in their literature about this fragrance, it says that this is more of a skin scent that this is supposed to be enjoyed by yourself, not necessarily having others smell you. But I found this to be the opposite. This one really warms up on my particular skin. I definitely smelled it like all day long. It did not become a hint of a fragrance. This actually seemed to develop and envelop me almost more so by the end of the day than when I first sprayed it on. When you first spray it on, it's got this fresh, ethereal woodiness to it. And as it dries down, it becomes more of a deeper, richer, matcha tea latte, but definitely warms up and becomes creamy and milky and just absolutely stunning. And so I found that to be a little bit different. And at least on my chemistry, I did not find that to be the case whatsoever. This seemed to really warm up and shine as it wore throughout the day. And I also did get a compliment, of course, while grocery shopping. That's where you'll find me when I'm not doing YouTube videos. But I did get asked what I was wearing at the grocery store, and I thought that was interesting because it was raining that day and it just warmed up and it smelled absolutely fantastic in the rainy weather here. I think it brought out a little bit more of the woodiness in here. This to me is just a really unique and really beautiful fragrance from Le Labo. I'm really in love with it. And if I had to describe it in one sentence, I would definitely say it is a matcha tea latte, creamy base, bit of freshness, and just a standout from Le Labo for myself. So that is my fragrance of the day, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I am catching up on my videos. I'm so excited about some upcoming events, so stay tuned. I have lots of fun stuff coming your way, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.